guys? I'm David with Media Unlocked, and today we're going to do something that's a little unusual, and that's actually do a review of an application that works both on Android and iOS devices like the iPad. Android-wise, the application is free, and iPad-wise, the application is 99 cents. What it is called is Splashtop. What it allows you to do is connect into your different computer systems as far as your MacBook Pro, Mac Mini, desktop PC computer, and control them from your tablet device. Not only does it allow you to do that while you're using your own network, but it allows you to do it remotely via someone else's network, say a friend across the town who lives maybe 10 miles away. He has internet, you have internet at your house, you connect into their internet through your internet and can control your device anywhere you go. Now, the really nice thing about this application, on the iOS devices, it's only 99 cents. On the Android devices, it is free. This is the best remote desktop app on the market, hands down in my opinion, especially at this price point. The only thing extra that it does cost, and I do pay it, is $2 a month I pay to be able to access this anywhere I go. So it is only free or 99 cents for using your own home network, and then you pay $1.99 to be able to access your computers anywhere on the go. So let's go on and log into one of my computers. Let's open up the application. It runs very smoothly. It's very responsive. And what we're going to do is we're going to connect into my desktop computer. So this is an iPad that is going to be controlling a PC, which is Windows 7 computer, desktop computer. So there we go. We're going to go on and connect into it. And as you notice, everything is pretty responsive. If I want to open up a folder, just double click. If I want to move that folder, click on it and just drag. Well, I hit the wrong part there. Let's get it to where it's the arrow, and now I can drag. If I would like to right click on a thing to look at, let's say, properties, we're going to hold down and go down to properties, and it's going to open up my properties. So this application is extremely responsive, especially on your network. It's not nearly as responsive if you're going through remotely and accessing it from another internet or another wireless connection. Actually, later on in this video, after I'm finished going over the review here, there will be also a small review at the end going over how well it works over at my mom's house, who lives about 5 to 8 miles away, and I connected in through her network over to this house and was able to control my devices, my computers. So, but that's going to be towards the end of the video, so check out that towards the end. Anyways, so this allows you can pull up your keyboard. I have 2 screens connected to this one, so if you needed to switch over to the other screen, you just hold that down for a second and it's going to flip over to the second screen that I have connected. Now this does take a few seconds for it to switch screens, and it does take a little while when you're actually doing it via remotely. So there you go. I can go and exit out of that. So I guess I could, which I probably never would, but I could actually do editing on the go with this or in the house. It's not going to be nearly as responsive because I don't have my keyboard. I can't do my shortcuts. But you know, I could actually open up Adobe Premiere here, and let's go on and do that. Well, there we go. And I could just double click on Premiere, and I would, you know, everything that that the PC can do, the computer or the tablet sees, which is really, really nice. As well, you can also watch videos, and the audio comes through the actual tablet device. That works on the go as well. So Adobe Premiere is going to open up on the other screen. We'll switch back over real quick. And this is really the only thing that really lags at all. It is a little more laggy on the Android device. I have a Nexus 7, so we're going to pull that out in a minute and actually show you how responsive it is on that. No, and so I've got Adobe Premiere opened up. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to exit out of this real quick, and we're going to open up the Mac Mini, and I'm going to play a file for you so you can actually hear the audio coming through the actual tablet of whatever you're watching. So we'll go to my Xbox 360 TV shows that I've got, HD TV shows, and wait for it to boot up. Now the computer itself is a little bit slow. It's an older Mac Mini, so the actual device or the internet connection is not that slow. It's actually the computer opening up the files. So we could just pick any one of these files here real quick, and we'll go to season 1, and we'll just play the file. Well, okay, so it won't play. The file format will only work on VLC, so what we'll do is we'll hold this down, we'll go to open with, and we'll pick VLC. So we'll open up, and as you can hear, the audio is actually coming from the device. So let me move the lob for a second. So as you can hear, sorry if there's a lot of audio static there, as you can hear, the actual audio from the show, the video is actually coming through the tablet, which is really, really nice. And it works all right, again, when you're connecting in remotely away from your own Wi-Fi connection. But still, it's a pretty impressive little app. As far as everything that it does, again, you've got a full keyboard and can control right there. And then just to exit out, just go on and hit this. And there you go. So next what we're going to do is I'm just going to pull out the Android device and connect into a OS device, and then connect into a Microsoft device, and play around with that a little bit on the 7-inch Android, which is the Nexus 7. Alright, so now I've pulled out my Nexus 7 7-inch screen tablet, and we'll go on and hit Splashtop and connect into it real quick. And it's going to take a second. It's going to log in and remind me later. So the cool thing that the Android device does that the iOS devices don't do, or if you notice, this lets you know that it's a Mac, if you happen to know the old Mac screen background, and this is a PC or Microsoft. So we can connect right into this. Now, the way the Android device is set up, it's a little bit different. I honestly think that it's a little bit laggier. In my opinion, this works much smoother on an iPad, and I was using a first generation iPad, which is going to be even slower than the newer generation iPads. So again, you can just do the double click. That's going to open up your files. And also, this is a 7-inch screen, so I don't feel like it's as responsive because it's such a small screen. You can do the old zoom in thing, continue. And it does have this set up so you can hit your right click and left click. So I could put my mouse here and click it, and then it will open it up. So let's move over here. And everything's a little bit slower. So we can move the mouse here and then hit a double click, and then it should open up that file. And for some reason, it's not being as responsive as I'd like it to be right now. So let's go back here. No, we don't want to exit out. And let's see how responsive it is if I try to switch screens here. So as you see, the Android, oh, there it goes. It's finally opening everything up. As you can see, it's a little bit slower and sluggish far as using a Android device. And here we go. And my mouse, even if you notice, I don't know if you can see how small this mouse is, but I have to hold my finger here to get my mouse to be up here, so your finger is not right on top of the mouse, and it's not set up as nicely as the iOS devices. So I could just exit out of that. And so again, but we're dealing with a 7-inch screen, so the screen, that's going to be a problem as well. And there we go, and switch back over. So everything, when I was opening up everything, it was shooting it over the second screen, and I hadn't realized that, so that's why it looked like it was taking a while to open up, but really I was all on the second screen. All right, so let's go on and exit out of this into our session, and let's go into an iOS. So we could open up my desktop computer, and not my desktop, but my MacBook Pro. Looks like I got some music going here. We can turn that off. Zoom in here, and again, it's just not as responsive. So, and now it's kind of going all over the place. So anyways, I really find this to work a lot better with the iOS device like the iPad, and I haven't tried it with an iPad mini. So again, this is also a 7-inch screen versus a 10-inch screen. So now what we're going to do is we're going to head over to my mom's place, and pretty much going to do the same thing, except you can see how well it works on a device away, connecting in remotely, and we're going to do the Android and the iOS device at the same time. So you guys have a good one, and enjoy this next little bit. All right, guys, I am now at my mother's house, which is roughly 5 to 8 miles away. It is across town, and I'm connected into her Wi-Fi. The Wi-Fi at my house across town is on, so let's turn on the iPad here, and let's go into Splashtop, and now it's doing an update to find the computers, and if it has a little satellite signal to it, that means that it is connected not on your Wi-Fi. So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect into an actual computer here, and we'll go with the Mac Mini, and it's going to connect. So it's connecting all the way across town. I'd love to try this out of state, but see if it lags anymore. Going to go OK, and let's see how it responds. So let's try to move this. So I mean, that all the way across town, 8-10 miles away, 5 to 8 miles away. I mean, it's responding pretty good. So let's open up this. Let's hit this. Let's put play, see if we get some audio playback. Oh, it's going to take a second, looks like, to boot up. We'll bring the volume down a little bit. And see, we're getting a little bit of lag while it's trying to play a video across networks. So let's going to see what happens. Oh, there we go. The quality of the video. Oh, there. So it looks like it had to buff a little bit. And we'll stop it. It looks like it had to buff a little bit, but I'm going to move the mic so you guys can actually hear the audio a little bit better.
Okay. I'm a malingerer and he's a lingerer. Yeah. Alright, so we'll go out Thursday. Okay.
And pause it again. Oh, well, maybe it didn't pause.
Wants to see us. He wants to see us.
So it is a little bit laggy trying to play a video across town via Wi-Fi. It's not horrible. It looks like you don't want to be doing any other applications if you are trying to watch a movie because it's going to get laggy. So it looks like once it kind of buffs a little bit, and once it starts playing, you wait a couple seconds, and as long as you're not doing anything else, it looks like it's going to play fairly smooth. So what we're going to do is we're going to disconnect from this, and we're going to pull up. We're going to pull up my PC. Like I said, I find it to be a little bit laggier when you connect into a PC via either Android or OS device. So there's my PC, and you can turn that on and off. And I could connect into Premiere, and technically I could probably do some basic editing of Premiere. We'll open up Premiere again here. And what it's going to do is going to kick it over to screen number 2. So we're going to go over to, well, maybe it should kick it over to screen number 2. So we're going to go on and look at screen number 2. Again, this is a little, you got to hold it down. There you go. And it's going to take a second for it to switch over to the second screen. And we're waiting a little bit here. And there you go. So I've got Adobe Premiere opened up, and I could technically edit here if I wanted to. But again, I mean, I don't have a mouse and an actual keyboard, so it would make it very uncomfortable. For me, it'd be hard to edit via the iPad. But if I had to do a quick edit or I had to do a quick fix or something like that, I have that option, which is really nice. So now what we're going to do is we're going to exit out, and we're going to pull up the Android device next, and we're going to see how well it does. Okay, so I pulled up my Android device. We're connected via Wi-Fi. Let's go on and open it up. Again, the nice thing about the Android is it shows you which ones are Mac computers, which one's a PC computer. So we'll go on, let's go on and connect into the MacBook Pro since we haven't done that yet to test it out. We've connected to the Mac Mini with the iPad and the PC with the iPad. So it's going to take a second. There we go, continue. And it looks like I've got my screensaver going, so let's knock out of that. Now if you notice there's a little bit of pixelation, it takes a second, but it looks pretty good. Let's try to watch a YouTube video real quick. So let's open up Firefox. And like like I said, it's not as responsive in my opinion. Well, there we go. And let's go to YouTube. All right. Let's downsize this. And let's just click on one of my videos. So if you notice, it does take a little bit longer for the mouse to get to where it needs to go here. There we go. And this is a little bit frustrating. See, it's not responding as well as the iPad. So let's go try this again. Maybe I need to zoom in here a little bit. Nope. So as you can see, there we go. Yeah, the Android device does not work nearly as well. There we go. Video manager. Finally, so that took a while to do. That was a little frustrating and difficult. This is my newest video, the baby fig rig. So what we're going to try to do is open her up. And instead of doing that, I'm just going to hit this left click down here at the bottom because it seems to work a little bit better than trying to do the hand click. And there we go. Bring this down here, wait our 5 seconds. And left click. And we can probably turn our volume up a little bit. So if you can do that, and we're going to move the mic again so you can actually hear for a second. All right, so you can hear that the audio is playing through my tablet via my iPad or via my MacBook Pro. So now let's see if we can get it to stop here. And click. And there we go, we got it to stop. So all in all, it works fairly well. I wish the Android device was a little bit more responsive. Before we jump off here, let's go over to the PC and see how it does. So let's exit out of this and let's open up the PC here. And let's switch screens, see how fast that does that. And there we go. So it switched screens a little bit faster than the OS device. So the Android device may work a little bit more comfortably. Nope. And as you can see, my mouse it's taking it's a little laggy to get my mouse to move. So no. So it does seem to be a tad bit more responsive with the PC, but the mouse is a tad bit more laggier, which is a little bit frustrating. So as far as all things are concerned, I'd rather have the iPad and pay the $1 to use the app. Again, this is all over the Wi-Fi, and if I had to rate this, a 5 being the highest, low being the worst, I would probably have to give this a 5 out of 5. I have tried TeamViewer and a handful of other programs that offer remote desktop or in-house remote desktop, and this is the most responsive, best app I've come across that does what this does. None of the other apps that I'm aware of even shoot audio back through the actual device, because the actual audio from my MacBook Pro, when I was playing my baby fig rig video, I mean, that audio was being shot right into here. And if I really wanted to, and I waited a few seconds with the iOS device, my iPad 1, Generation 1, I can watch my TV shows that are connected to my Mac Mini back at my house. I just have to give it a couple seconds to buff, as well. I can't be doing anything else but doing that. Anything else is going to cause the video quality to go down, and it's going to cause it to do, it's going to be kind of glitchy. So all in all, I still have to give this thing a 5 out of 5 because it is the best app that does what it does on the market that I've come across so far, and it is dirt cheap or free if you have an Android device. Anyways, I hope you guys like this review. Check me out on Facebook at DAVIDDIMAGES, Twitter at Media Unlocked. Shoot me any messages or leave a comment if you feel the need to. Be more than happy to answer them. And you can also email me at mediaunlocked101@gmail.com. You guys have a great day, and we'll catch you next time.